Hello and welcome to this first look exploring session looking at The Wit of a Woman, a play printed in 1604 and existing sometime around about then. We don't really know anything about this play, apart from the fact that the play doesn't quite work. I normally don't tell people in advance exactly some of the textual problems that turns up in plays, but it's just not fair in this instance to not point out that some of the names might get a bit confused and the relationship between characters may get confused, and it's confused. So one of the things we're going to be looking for during these sessions is try to unconfuse the text, to make some decisions the playwright damn well should have made 400 plus years ago, because we can. So we will need to find out the problems, which we'll do now in the next couple of sessions, and then try and come up with some solutions. Good luck, everyone. Reading Prologue, Veronte and Ferio is...
Hi, I'm Eric. I am here to read things that make no sense.
It might make some sense, it just might make some contradictory sense. Reading Gianetta and Rinaldo is...
Rachel in Canada.
Reading Isabella, Gerillo, Citizen Divas, and Bragardo is...
Olga, I'm joining you from Moscow.
Reading Balia, Bario, and Lodovica is...
Hello, I'm Helen. I'm in London.
Reading Erinta, Lino, and Maiden is...
Liza, in London. I am here to make things that make no sense make sense.
Reading, I'm going to be terribly disappointed if this play sort of is fine. Reading Merilla and Goffo is...
Hi, it's Tom in Brighton.
And reading Filenio, Giro, Old Woman, and Bizardo is...
Hi, I'm Desna in Lancaster.
Sounds... Yeah, Bizardo does sound like it should be something.
Looking forward to Bizardo.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a Muppet character that never quite made the cut. And I'm your host, Robert Crighton. I'll be reading stage directions and generally moving us forward. Without further ado, we've got quite a lot of text to get through. Hypothetically, we're going to start with the prologue. Eric, prologue away, please.
Youth and age were both in love, either for their haps to prove, when in fine a woman's wit did in reason nature fit. Age was cozened yet contented, youth was pleased and not repented. Though I am to tell you all, ye shall see what will befall. Merry sport without hurt meant is the end of our intent.
That was a fun little prologue. Youth and age. Youth and age. Let's find out something about youth and age. Scene 1. Enter Balia, Merilla, Isabella, Gianetta, and Erinta.
Gentlewomen, in truth I am sorry to see how you trifle out the time without either good to yourselves or credit to me. Your parents think their charge lost. I think my pains lost, and you will find your good time lost. Good Lord, what shall I say to you? I know I shall have more anger for you than ever I shall get good by you. Nay, it is too true. Look at me as you list. Erinta, let me see hither your work. Good stuff, is it not? In truth, not a stitch in it. Indeed, I will have it all picked out. Why, what do you mean?
Truly, mistress, I have had such a pain in my head that I can scarce hold open mine eyes, and therefore blame me not for my work. When I'm better, it shall be amended.
Well, it's an old saying. I heard my grandmother speak it a day ago, that good words make amends for misdeeds. But in earnest, if you be not well, I pray you lay by your work and take your pleasure, either at your lute or dancing, or what it please you. And if you think it not amiss, you shall have Master Doctor's opinion for your health.
I thank you, forsooth, even as it shall please you.
Well, Merilla, let me see your cushion work. Oh, Lord, here's a great fault. In truth, your colours are not well mingled. Besides, it is not even laid.
Truly, forsooth, I had not enough of the white, and therefore I was forced to take of the carnation, as near as I could, which being of a bigger sort could not lie so even as I would have liked had it. But truly I have done my best in the working of it.
A sufficient excuse cannot be refused, and therefore I will blame myself for this fault. But Isabella, I pray you, what flourish is this that you have made here?
Why, forsooth, this is such as you bade me for the coif, for there is not thread enough for the kirtle till you send for more.
In truth, you say true. Good Lord help me, I see I grow old. My memory doth so fail me, but I pray you bear with me and put me in mind to send for some in the morning.
Yes, forsooth.
Now, Gianetta, what have you written? Look you, a fair maiden make such foul blots, and not a straight line, all awry, all awry. I pray you let it be mended.
Truly, forsooth, my pen is not, and my schoolmaster will not mend it. Besides, my book was not ruled. He was in such a haste that would scarce tarry to write my copy.
Yea, is the gentleman so lusty? Marry, he shall be talked withal. What doth he think to have his money for nothing? Well, I am glad to know it. But, gentlewomen, let me entreat you, even for God's sake, as you are together in my house as sisters, you will live, agree, and love together as sisters. Your parents are friends, and so I hope will continue, and so I pray do ye. I have no children of mine own, and therefore she that useth me most kindly shall not find me least thankful. And to begin with a bond of love, let me entreat you to join hands and hearts together, and let there be no name henceforth but sister among ye. Nor call me other than mother, for though in my person I am not worthy, in my love I will deserve it.
We are
We are
content,
content,
willing.
Well, gentlewomen, I doubt not but this kindness will continue. I shall be glad to see it, and for that I know ye would be glad to take the air, I will even leave you a while to yourselves. Take your pleasures, and at your good times come in.
Exit Balia. The girls remain.
Sister Isabella, what ails thy melancholy of late? Come, put it off, it becomes thee not. I'm sure you're not making of verses. And for state matters, let us govern men, and men govern matters.
Yeah, 'twere well if it could be so.
And why not?
Because we have nothing but eyes and tongues, and they have ears and hearts.
Yea, but our eyes may govern their hearts, and our tongues their eyes.
Ha ha ha.
What laugh at you?
At your idle humors, to think that the will of a woman should rule the wit of a man.
Of a man, yea, and a thousand, and more too. For if ever thou hast read stories or marked courses, then thou wilt find all the wit that they have, all the books they read, all the courses they take, is but to please us.
Marry, Bus.
Why, when we have our wills, we are not at their wills. We laugh at a little time of their filling, but think not of long time of our serving.
Serving, what, ourselves? For doth not the lawyer plead all his cases to beautify our cases? Do not the client's gold come to our golden jewels? Doth not the soldier's perils maintain our peace? The physician's fees, are they not our tribute? And the merchant's adventure our gain? In brief, who so stout as dare offend us? Who so rich, but he will be poor for us? Who so wise, but will commend us? Who so noble, but will honor us? And who so mad, but will swear to love us?
Oh, but when they flatter us, they abuse us. And when we flatter ourselves, they have the hand of us. But how do they use us when they have us?
How, I pray you?
I will tell you as I have heard. If we be witty, they will play with us like apes. If foolish, they will scorn us like asses. If fair, like pictures make us gay to look upon. If foul, keep us like owls to laugh at. and the house must be kept as a prison, or else gazers or gossips, cooks of their diet, launders for their linen, servants for charge, and companions but for idleness.
Who told thee this tale? But what sayest thou? Merilla, art thou of her mind?
No, we will be the treasures of their charge, the commanders of their service, the comfort of their hearts, the honour of their thoughts, and the joys of their spirits, or else we will be none.
Then I fear ye will lead apes in hell.
No, tush, that's but a jest of a devil in the world.
Well, sisters, let us not disagree upon husbands, but if there come any to our minds, let us have a bout with our wits to fit our wills to the full.
I pray God it be not ill speed to the fool.
Tush, where had I wisten good enough? But hark, Sirrah, tell me one thing. If it fall out, as 'tis like enough, that we have to light on some such creatures as we call lovers, shall we play the good girls and ask and keep one another's counsel?
The one is easier than the other.
A forfeit in them that fail.
What?
Breach of friendship.
Content. But I doubt we have prattled too long. Our mother will hang the lip, or knit the brow, or devise one dumpish countenance or other. Therefore let us go in and keep her in tune while she's well.
Content, a good motion, for in truth I have a little work to do that I had almost forgotten.
And exit. 4 little maids from school are we? It's the headmistress has left the room, and they are getting down to serious conversation. This has got a lot of bounce to it. I'm hoping that any structural problems that there are with this play are minor, because so far it's got potential. It's got some possible issues, but it's got some really nice flow to it. I thought the dialogue moved really well. I thought Helen, your character was doing such a nice bit of business out at the beginning, going through everybody's work.
and neither being stern. I mean, she would start off trying to be stern, and then she agreed with every single lame excuse they brought up. And then she said, "Oh, go and play for a little while. Come back when you want."
And I just love that moment when, but sister among it, and they all join hands with this word sister. It's in the stage direction, so I flag it up. There is a sense that everybody sort of likes each other. We don't always get this in plays. And yeah, I think just a note here is just hold on to who you think your character is, and if you start noticing discrepancies, flag it up as we go on, because I mean we've got a sense of some of these characters have a sort of overriding sort of nature to them, that are sort of in place there. Any other thoughts? Eric?
They do have, okay, it's a bunch of young women or however old they're meant to be, but it's kind of, they do have distinct characteristics and personalities. It's not that, you can't tell them apart. I mean, you can tell that, Erinta is the shit stirrer, Isabella is the one who's sort of pensive and sort of clearly thinking about things a bit more than usual. And then you've got Merilla, who's kind of the go-between. I don't know. It's just an interesting dynamic that they've got. It's a friend group, and you can tell who is who. It's not like they're just a bunch of generic, nondescript people.
Yeah. They say there's life here. And yeah. And they're going. Oh, Eric again.
I also like how they vote on things. It's so what will the price be for, one of them failing to uphold this random deal that they've come up with? And then they sort of vote content, a good motion, which makes me think of court cases, which is basically what Erinta starts with. Like, oh yeah, lawyers are here to please us, soldiers do this, physicians do that, and all that stuff.
They're making a pact in the dorm. I think there may be many popular culture references we can throw into this one, but I will refrain from this moment. Let us gather some more data going into scene 2. And we have mostly new people, and it seems like we're swapping to the other side of the fence. Enter Filenio, Veronte at one door, and Rinaldo and Gerillo at another door.
A match?
At what?
At tennis.
Tis to what?
What then? Shall we be idle?
No, 'twere better to be well occupied.
About what?
We'll join issue, if I plead the case.
We two to you two, at what you will, and when you will.
Nay, we 4 to other 4 at a match worth the making.
It shall be a bad match that I will refuse my friend.
And I am for ye.
Come on, set our feet together, cross hands aloft. Now let him lack hands and feet that with his heart faints, or with his hand fails, the true duty of a friend be it, life or death. Amen.
Amen.
Now, my masters, we 4 wags, the 4 mad wenches, are the cross sisters let us to our wits, to lay them abroad for their loves, and though some of our parents seem not to favour us in such courses, let us do them as little offence in ourselves as much good as we can.
A good motion.
I'll make one. Lay the plot and let me alone for my part.
And I mine.
Then have at ye for a double game. Well, we will be more ourselves, and yet ourselves. You are Sir Nimbleheels, and you shall be a dancing schoolmaster to teach the wenches to dance. So when you have your mistress, hang yourself. If you cannot teach her aright, hit. If you cannot teach her aright, hit it both in time and place to jump even with the instrument.
Well, sir, I understand you. I am for you, and will be ruled by you.
For you, sir, you are Dominus Literatus. You shall be Master Doctor of Physic. And now and then go visit your patient, and as you feel your pulse, so think of the disease with the secret of the cure.
Sir, you are wise. I am not simple, but I can consider of those compounds and how to apply them to the place agreed.
Now for you, sir, you are Apelles for your artificial spirit, and when you come to the Mount of Venus, if your pencil full, give over your occupation, but in any wise be sure of good stones for the grinding of your colors.
Well, sir, I have instruction enough for the perfecting of my work, which if it be not like myself, let me be counted a bungler.
Now for myself, I will be an odd, pretty fellow with a pen in mine ear, in the shoe of a schoolmaster that shall teach to read and write, and if I do not learn my scholars kindly to spell and put together, I will lose my wages for my labour. But let us lose no time, for now we know what to do, be going about our business.
And they exit. So, I think we've established the two sides of this particular coin in this 1980s teen comedy that we seem to have wandered into. There's so many opportunities for this to turn bad. I'm hoping that it's going to be fine. But yes, we've got establishment of a infiltration plan here, and establishment of business, and it's very efficient. It hasn't hung around. It's got sort of in and out again. It's not doing any more than I think it's necessary, but it's doing with a certain amount of bounce, I think. Yeah. Any thoughts on the chaps, as it were? Eric.
I was going to let Liza go first because I was talking earlier.
Oh, I didn't see Liza. Liza.
That's nice of you. Thank you. I'm very interested in, these scenes are very short, and yet they establish a lot in that little time. So our 4 boyfriends, or our 4 young lovers, as it were, are going to all disguise themselves in some way that will let them get closer to our girls. We're going to have a dancing master, a doctor of physic, a schoolmaster, and I forget what the fourth one is.
A
An
painter.
artist.
Apelles. He's a painter.
Painties.
Oh,
yeah.
a painter. Yes, that's nice.
Mm.
So we will see how this shakes out.
Yes, and I think the very important thing here is in any production is that though they may be pretending to be playing older, they must be of the same age as the young girls. Because there was a moment at the beginning of that I was starting to get a bit worried about that it might start coming across as quite predatory, as opposed to a bit
These
full
are
of
the
themselves.
young
But
men. The old men are in the next scene.
yeah, I haven't got that far. But they could just, if they were just a few years older, then it starts feeling icky. Whereas, they need to be. But that means they have to be playing older if they're going to be pretending to be, etc. So establishing how old these people are anyway. I mean, because the ladies don't necessarily have to be that young. But I do feel for this production, any modern production, they're going to get younger, aren't they? This is feeling very high school. But anyway, we will find out, I think, as we're going to go forward. Helen swapped a hat, so I know that we are in good hands. Eric, briefly before we move on.
I do like how Veronte sort of basically goes, yeah, I'm gonna be the pretty guy, the smart guy who also looks good, because obviously he thinks a lot of himself, and sort of also I'm pretty sure a lot of these are innuendos, like Mount of Venus, like your pencil full, all that stuff. It's like, come on, yeah.
Okay.
Life class, you understand?
Yes. Okay, scene 3. Enter Bario and Dr. Lino.
Master Doctor, in truth you have a most sweet child unto your daughter, and if it were not to make you too proud, I would tell you she will need no great dowry for her preferment in marriage.
Sir, you have taught me what to say if I could speak, but if she is a good foil to your diamond.
They said, after the old proverb, that the crow thinks her bird of a fair feather, but truly it is not so with me. For I must confess, though I cannot think mine deformed, yet for complexion you have a paragon. I cannot tell whether your art help anything in the perfecting or preserving of it.
Oh, well, sir, your commendation cannot misconceit mine opinion. I hold her fair that is gracious, and wise that is thrifty, and honorable that is virtuous. So may I live to see my daughter, I shall be a glad father. If otherwise, what I cannot help, I must be sorry for.
Indeed, patience is a remedy for many hurts, and for myself, I will follow my wife's counsel, who oftentimes in her lifetime would tell me this, touching my children: nature is no brother, and youth is an age of imperfection, and labor without pleasure is but a dueling of the spirit. And therefore have an eye, but not a hand over them. For a good nature is rather awed with love than amended with fear, and even as she wished me, have I done, and will do. Commend what I see good, wink at a little fault, for love is tender, and grief is sooner taken than removed.
You speak like a kind father that may be joyful in such a daughter. But what say you of your son?
A wag. I rather pray for him than love him. And yet, being mine own, when I remember my youth, I can the better hope of his elder years.
Why, indeed, he is a gallant gentleman of a noble spirit, and knoweth what he doth, how merry soever he make a countenance.
In truth, I hope so well of him, that though he were a feather, he will not throw away his hat. But I would wish he had a little of your son's salt in his brains.
My boys, alas, he is a mere freshman. And yet, though I hope he will be no knave, I would be loath to see him a fool. But look you who cometh yonder. Gentlemen, a fair day befall ye. No offence to your kindness. Whence come ye? I will not ask. Whither go ye?
Enter Giro and Ferio.
Well said, Master Doctor. Take a scholar without a trick and set a fire on his library. But, sir, To leave eloquence in plain honesty, we came from Mistress Balia's house, where, if you had been with us, you might have heard some music. And for you, Mistress Bario, let me not make you proud. Your daughter sings like a nightingale, and Master Doctor's daughter plays. It would do one good to hear her.
I thank you, sir, for your good report. We will even make a step to see how they do, and yours too, for I'm sure they are not behindhand with deserts of commendations. What say you, Signor Ferio?
Faith, mine, her mistress saith, hath an excellent hand at her needle, and for an apt hand to writing. I must confess she is worthy praise, but I perceive ye are going thither, and therefore we will leave you to your judgments of our reporters.
I thank you, Master Doctor. You will bear me company?
Yea, sir, with all my heart.
And exeunt Bario and Lino, leaving Ferio and Giro.
Master Giro, truly, Mistress Balia is a good old woman. How careful and how kind she is, rather like unto a mother than a mistress. And truly, methinks the wench is loved like sisters. It were a pity they should be parted.
For mine, she shall not part from her mistress till she have a master that she may be bold with. And for your daughter, I would she had as good a husband as I could wish her.
I am sure you would wish her no bad one for her mother's sake, but I wish that she had no worse than your wife had, though I say it to your face. And for mine own part, young fellows are so light-headed that it is 20 to 1 to be well bestowed, yet except he be either a fool that will be ruled, or a phoenix that cannot be found.
Nay, soft, say not so. Some colts are back to young, and some at full age. A good rider doth much that can or will mark the nature of the horse.
So some mares may be younger bellied than others, and then the colts will be but tits, except the sire be the better. But let the jades alone and speak plainly to the purpose.
Then to the purpose. Liberty is a way to will, and ease to wantonness. And when wenches have the head, a snaffle will not hold them in.
Why then to be a bridle, and yet too much keeping in makes them the madder to get out. But as for ours, we have no need to be afraid of sparrow blasting. Their mistress keeps them ever so well occupied. They have no time to be idle.
I cannot tell what you talk of occupying. This writing in a wench may make ill work with a man, which letters may convey more knavery than tongues may be heard to speak of.
Yea, but what think you of dancing and singing?
The pretty quality is the one to bewitch them that hear them, and the other to hear such as will talk with them, and under the shape of a man, to hear a devil in a mass.
Oh, you are an old colt, but yet speak more charitably. The use is it's that makes or mars. The qualities are decent and necessary.
Yea, but they mar housewifery. They draw company and ask cost.
Why, is it not better to honour wit than to be troubled with folly?
The cunning of nature needs no art, and what women are we, men can tell.
Why, you have been so met with all. Truly, I am persuaded that you are not yet so past the world that you would cast your cap at a sweet creature.
I am content to make you my judge, because I will be quittance with your conceit. But methought I heard you say even now that you were to go to the pass about your pinnaces. That is lately coming from the straits. Don't make me laugh. Let not me be a hindrance to your business. We shall meet again, and whensoever you will, I will bear you company to Mistress Balia.
I thank you, sir, with all my heart for putting me in remembrance. I had almost forgotten myself. You see how good company may pass the time away. When I go, I will send you word.
I thank you, sir.
And exit Ferio, leaving Giro alone.
Well, I see wit goes not all by age, nor love by reason. For then should not I exceed myself in effecting that which will increase my folly? But against death there is no medicine, nor any argument to stand with love. And therefore, since I am in by the week, let me look to the year. Ferio's daughter is fair, well, and beauty is worth the looking on. So, and she is witty, and that is worth the thinking on, true, and she is kind, and that is worth the lighting on. Well, but I am old, and that is not worth the looking on, true, and I am foolish, and that is not worth the thinking on, so And I forward, and that is not worth the lighting on, right? So then she is fair, witty, and kind, and I am old, foolish, and froward. And how then shall we come to the matter? No reason to hope of it, yet fortune doth much in fancy, and wealth pleads strongly with a wench. Yea, to make a fool of him that hath it, and will part with it. Well, I am rich, and will be bountiful, for I am loving and so far in love that I will be a fool to have my fortune. And therefore, Gianetta, I will come to see my daughter. But it shall be for thy sake, for 'tis thee I love. Thine eyes have hold of my heart, and thy hand shall rule the whole world that I have. But all this is nothing. I must, if I have any wit, now work it to her will. And so I will. My daughter shall be the mean, and Mistress Balia shall not say me nay. Crows must fly, and they shall walk, for they never did me better service.
And exit Giro, who we may not hear of as that name ever again. And the question that this scene immediately starts asking us is, who's the daddy? We have got a lot of older male figures here, some of them who keep referring to having daughters and not necessarily identifying who those daughters are. This may become increasingly a problem later on because we have 4 daughters to disentangle. We have to figure out who their fathers are within the narrative text, or who are just creepy old men who just kind of want to get together.
Yeah, and another one mentioned boys. So one of them has sons.
Yeah. So
Well, two
precisely.
of them have sons.
Oh, really? Yes. One has son and daughter, and one has sons plural. So.
Yes, and this going back to a conversation we had off camera, I was wrong. Giro is not the boy. His name is Gero, with an E later on. So that's somebody. So this is an older man here, and it's fine because he won't have this name. I think anywhere else in this text, because his name will be Dorio later on. I think we just started to skim into the structural issues that we have to disentangle as to who's daughter. Lino's got a daughter, Ferio's got a daughter, Bario's got a daughter, and sometimes they say they have the same daughter. By the end of this process, we're going to have to make some decisions as to who is the daddy and to whom and why, and does it matter?
Yeah.
Eric, then Olga.
Well, it feels a bit like An Englishman for My Money, where you've got like the father. Well, I mean, okay, in that one it was just one father plotting to sort of marry off his daughter, and then obviously her friends and sisters and so on trying to sort of fall in plan to fall for, like, basically plot to fall for to arrange a marriage between their lovers and themselves. Whereas this one is basically 4 older people, 8 younger people, and now we're going to see 5 older people if we include Balia, sorry. And yeah, I'm just curious how this is going to go wrong.
Yeah. Any other Olga?
Before we just started trying to disentangle all this and put some logic where possibly no one ever tried to put logic, it actually felt to me rather pleasurable and very much like Commedia dell'arte beginning with young lovers, older parents, and probably older lovers too. But just sort of multiplied, doubled, tripled with 4 young ladies, 4 boys. So yes, a wonderful possibility for confusion. The more, the merrier.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We've got in a sense a very straightforward setup of young lovers want to get together, are separated. There's a matriarch, a schoolmistress keeping the ladies in check. We've got fathers now there to be another barrier, and somehow they're going to have to maneuver all of these things to get to each other. But there are 4 couples, and maybe some of them will have to go. But we shall see. Liza.
Not only are there 4 couples, but some of the dads want to marry each other's daughters.
Yeah, well, that's the obstacle, isn't it? That's the barrier there of those negotiations, etc. Eric.
Well, also the great line was like, oh yeah, Mistress Balia is keeping them busy. Nothing can possibly happen to them, nothing can possibly go wrong. They can't possibly drift off from like what they're meant to be doing or stray in any way. Which I really kind of loved.
Okay, when we're talking about confusion, we're getting the impression. I get the impression that the playwright is going to be also just as confused as we are. So maybe trying to create too much confusion is a problem. Let's find out as we go into the next scene, which is going to create an additional confusion, which I will explain. It's not as confusing as that stage direction is not as scary as it looks. So scene 4, enter Filenio. Now called Neophel. He's pretending to be someone called Neophel. Don't worry, it's not a different. It's just the character is pretending to be somebody else, and his servant Goffo, who is pretending to be called Foggo.
Excuse me, could you tell me what scene we're on?
Scene 4.
Oh, thanks.
So yes, so we got 2 characters pretending to be somebody else as well, who are now doing that business.
Foggo, set up the table now, sir. First, secrecy for your life, not to reveal my trust, and for our better gain to draw our patience.
You serve, for I am neither a physician or an apothecary or surgeon, but for a woman, and that for one disease.
What is that, sir?
The Unilla. Putting up of the Unilla.
Go to, sir knave, no more roguery, but tend your business and mark what I tell you.
Well, sirs, mine ears, mine eyes, mine mind and heart are all prepared to hear, note, and remember and perform your command.
Then, sir, wait without the door and talk with the patient of the disease and tell me what they say before they come in, but bring in their urinals.
'Tis done, sir. He waiteth there.
Enter Veronte with his table.
Well, here I will hang up my table, and if my hand fail me not and my pen carry ink, well, I believe I will teach some such a lesson as shall make them remember me the better while they live. But I long to hear of Mistress Balia, who I heard wanted one to teach a young gentlewoman or 2 in her house. I will stay within a while, and it may be I shall have better luck than I look for.
Exit to his house. Enter Gerillo with a fiddler. Rinaldo hangs out pictures.
Come, let us go. The clock hath struck, and Mistress Balia will chide us if we keep not ours. Play me a galliard that I may last.
He plays, the other danceth, and so exit. Enter diverse patients, 1 neat maiden and an old woman, 1 rich citizen. Foggo entertains them. Foggo, of course, being the pseudonym for Goffo.
Sister, you are welcome. I pray you, my masters, stay a little. My master is busy with my lord Nemo, and is sent to my lady Nulla. Yet did well to come betimes. He had been gone else before your coming. But hark, your sister, tell truly how long you have been ill, when your pain took you first, and where it holds you most.
Truly, sir, a month ago it took me with a stitch somewhat lower than my heart, and makes me fall into qualms many times, especially fasting.
Enough, your granam. What ail you? The toothache?
No, sir, you are a merry man. No, 'tis my head. I've had it this 5 years and upwards. I took it with a cold, and thereupon falls so in mine eyes that I can scarce see.
Oh, you are almost blind for age, and yet with a little owl light she hath spied some young knave that must rip up her old gold bags to rumble her old bones. Well, you shall speak with my master by and by, but stand by a little now, you sir. I pray, where is your most pain?
Lies in my left side, and somewhat stuffed in my stomach, and a little swelling in my feet.
Well enough. He hath the gout, the dropsy, and the pox, and yet all will not kill him. Well, I pray you come in with me. I will bring ye to him one after the other.
Exit. So we've got this little patient survey skit thing going on here. We've got the setting up of various all of the lads are sort of setting up their things. And it should be Goffo. I don't know why it's written Goffer. That's an interesting ongoing typo. That's not the original error. That's something's gone wrong in transmission. Otherwise, the anagram doesn't work. But yeah, I do quite like the various people. We've got some fiddling and dancing for no readily apparent reason. That's fine. There is a little bit of plot here, just a little bit of plot, and then some just sort of business, which doesn't seem fully developed. It feels like this is a starting point that might need some developing. It's slightly unclear. Any thoughts before we move on? Eric, then Helen.
It feels a bit like sort of someone's taken George Peele's jests and just like put them into a play. But like with different characters, so it's not like George Peele dressing up as a doctor, pretending to like know about herbs and nearly killing people by accident.
It's actually quite similar to a very short academic entertainment that we've been looking at recently, called Priest the Barber, where it's all about the patients are queuing up to come in and what's wrong with them, and then you do some witty play with them. But the witty play doesn't seem very developed. It feels like we've got the setup for a punchline, but they never quite deliver the punchlines. Helen.
Yes, there was a play, might have been The Old Woman of Hogston or something like that. Where it was the one where you had two people called exactly the same name who kept getting confused with each other. And the idea was that she set her servant to listen to what the patients and various people were saying in the waiting room, and then she showed herself miraculously able, just by looking at them, to diagnose what their problem was.
Yes, many con artists and people have worked on such basis. So yeah, if that's what it's setting up, I hope we get a resolution of that in a following scene. So we shall see. Liza, and then we'll move on.
Just to that point, there's very much this undercurrent at this period that doctors are all charlatans, and so a charlatan posing as a doctor is pretty much as good as a doctor because they don't know anything anyway, and all they do is kill you, which has some resonances in our modern time. But read Molière for more.
Okay, scene 5 then. We're going back to enter Bario and the Dr. Lino from Balia's house.
Balia's house. Now, Master Doctor, how think you of my daughter? Hath she not profited well for the little time she hath been at Mistress Balia's house? I hope to see her a fine girl. And her mistress tells me of an excellent fine dancer that teacheth very well. If he be not too dear, he shall go to her.
Nay, stand not upon cost, for had my wench so good a grace and such a person, I should think no cost too much to instruct her in anything that might do her good. And Indeed, these dancers sometimes do teach them tricks above Trenchmore. Yea, and sometimes such la voltas they mount so high that you may see their hey nonny 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 no.
Oh, why, how now, a musician, Master Doctor? What, shall we have a song?
Oh, you may see a man thinks not always of that which he speaks. My mind, to tell you truth, was of another matter. But, sir, I perceive your daughter is somewhat inclined towards the green sickness, and if it please you, I will see her now and then administer something unto her that shall be for her health.
Oh, I thank you, sir. I pray you do so. I will not be ungrateful for any good thing that you shall do her. But for that I think you are going homeward, and I must to the State House. About a little Commonwealth's business, I will take my leave of you. Till we meet again, and thank you for your good company.
Exit Bario.
I thank you, sir. Well, is he gone? Now let me talk a little to the wind, for I hope there is nobody hears me. Well, I must clear this same rough throat of mine. How age alters the condition of nature. I was, when I was young, a fine fellow, and had my spirit as full of life as a wagtail. But now the case is altered, and yet methinks I am this day younger by 20 years than I took myself for. My God help me, I am not old, and besides, I hope I have an elixir that shall restore strength to me at my pleasure. But let me see, there is a disease called love that is in many incurable, for eyes and hands and other parts are much troubled in the trying of means for the true curing medicine. Now this disease I have, and what follows? Medicus cure te ipsum. Physician, cure thyself. No, 'tis Erinta must help me, or else contra vim mortis non est medicamur in mortis. When the eye hath wounded, the heart, the spirits must be pleased ere the mind can be at rest. Love or death, there is but 2 points, and which is most fittest for age? I fear the son can teach the father. But soft a while, proximus egum et mihi. I love my son, but I love myself better, and Erinta best, who I hope does perceive it. But if I can, ere long she shall better understand it. For there is not a secret in nature nor a trick in art that I will not try for my love. But I doubt I have some patients staying for me at home, and therefore I will dispatch them and then plot the best I can for my business.
Okay, so Lino seems to be horny for Erinta. I'm going to go with it's not his daughter, because that would be wrong, but there's that.
I think it's Bario's daughter.
Hmm?
I think it's Bario's daughter.
So going with Bario's daughter is Erinta.
Because they were, when they first spoke earlier, they were admiring each other's daughters, weren't they?
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean he's such overcome. He's talking about seeing her. Hey, nonny, nonny, no.
Yes, I have to say that was quite a line, which of which all we can say is hey, nonny, nonny, no. It's yeah. So but he seems to have a son somewhere. He keeps talking about a son. Who's the son? Right. Okay.
Maybe the one pretending to be a doctor.
Could be.
Or yeah, it would. Who's interested in Erinta? Do we know who any of the sons are actually interested in, or are they just sort of interested in the general direction? Because it would sort of make sense that if there's a sort of rivalry, Oedipal rivalry going on. Desna.
So just something that was said when the group of young men were talking earlier. Sorry, was they referred to the young women as their sisters, and I wasn't sure if that was just kind of a general collective description, but maybe they actually are the sisters of the other boys in the group. In which case, I feel like the disguising themselves is going to be quite hard to get away with, because I'm guessing they might all be familiar with each other's siblings, but...
It's early modern disguise.
It's silly me.
Yeah. Oh no, don't worry about that. It's patented. It's your Acme disguise kit. No one can see through
obviously. I don't know
Rachel.
what I was thinking.
There are four fathers, 4 sons, and 4 daughters. They might all map out in weird ways.
That they are all literally related to each other on some level. So when they are talking about sisters, they do mean sister-in-law, which in the early modern period is that is incest, regardless of whether you're a blood relation or not. You need a dispensation for that. So this is getting weird. Okay. Maybe they're all related, in which case we're already up to 12 actors potentially here. That's fine, not including, that's just within the keeping it within the family. So not including peripherals. Let's have some peripherals now. I'll come back to you, Eric. We'll fit this in later. Scene 6. We've had an offstage scene, presumably, because the patients now come on going home.
Doctor, how like you this young doctor? Truly, he is a great learned man. Why, he told me my pain and when it took me and how it holds me and everything so right. Truly, he is a wondrous fine man.
And so he is. No man in the world could have gone finelier to work with me. I had not scarce 5 words with him, but he told me everything as true as I am here, and dispatched me presently. I thank him of his kindness. Hearing me say I was but a poor wench, would take nothing of me, but willed me to come to him in the morning, and he would minister that to me should help me. I warrant him he is a kind man, and if I live, I'll be with him betimes.
And he took not much of me, but that he had, I gave him with a good will. For indeed he's a gentle person, and a little powder he hath given me to drink with a cup of sap to bedward. And I will follow his counsel truly, that I will. Oh, these outlandish men are full of skill, I see by them. I would I could get him home to my house. Truly, I mayhap try whether he will taste of an old hen, as well as a young pullet, for in truth he is a fine man.
Mother, I promise you, he no sooner had me by the hand and felt me by the wrists, but he made my heart tickle in my belly. Oh, but mother, my way, I think, lieth not your way, and therefore I will take my leave of you till we meet again.
I thank you heartily for your kind company. God bless you and send you well to do.
And you too, good mother.
And they exit. Again, so when they're talking about good mother, it doesn't mean literally. Again, it's just an endearment for an older woman. It's there's been some what we've called medical malpractice going on here. But it seemed to be they both seem very happy about it. So I don't think we should question it too deeply. But as Helen said earlier, exactly the setup. The feed goes out, finds out the information, and then passes it on, and that's how they have such you build a good reputation in general practice. Shall we go on and gather some more data? Because that doesn't solve any of our problems. I'll go to Eric, however.
I was just gonna say that it's. I mean, okay, we've got the old woman and the maiden and stuff, but I feel like we've. It feels a bit like one of those boys' company plays where like you've got boys of probably the same age, just acting all the parts. So you've got I don't know, like a huge company of people, probably disguised as different ages, which is probably just, I don't know, funny, maybe, and inappropriate.
Yes, we have no idea what the company is, or even if it made it to a stage. So, or what its auspices is. So it's entirely possible. Scene 7. Let us have the return of Dr. Lino with Signor Bario again. They seem to be doing a double act a lot of the time. Let's see where they go.
Master Doctor, I hear there is an excellent painter come lately to the town, and for that fathers sometime love to look upon their children, though it be in a picture. I will see if I can agree with this new stranger for the drawing of my daughter's counterfeit.
Good motion. And if he be so good a workman as he hath the name for, he shall earn some money of me too for mine. Come, I pray you, let us go to his house and inquire for him. And now I remember me, my girl told me that her mistress promised to help her to a good schoolmaster. Shall we see what this fellow is that hangs out his table?
Content.
They knock at the door. Enter Rinaldo.
You are welcome, sir. What is your pleasure?
Are you the writer of these hands?
For fault of a better.
And what take you for a head?
10 crowns.
And in what time?
3 months.
Well, I have a daughter, and so hath this gentleman, my friend, another, and they are both here at Mistress Balia's house. If you will take pains, and that they profit, you shall have 16 crowns for them both.
Sir, I seldom take less than my price. Yet, being together, I can the better attend them. I am content with your worships. Goodwill.
Then hold you. Here is 4 crowns. Go to Mistress Balia's and ask for Mistress Isabella and Gianetta, and say that you come from their fathers. I pray you do so.
I will, sir. I know the house. It is near the church.
The same. God be with you.
And exit Rinaldo.
Now, Master Doctor, I pray you, let us talk with the painter.
With all my heart, by your leave, sir. Who is within here?
Enter Veronte. Or Veronte.
Sorry, I'm just taking notes. What would you, gentlemen?
Is this your work?
It is, sir. If it please you, go in. I will show you better pieces.
And they exit into his house. So, Isabella and Gianetta, are we inferring that they are Bario and Lino's daughters?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
but we were thinking Erinta.
So Erinta can't be Bario's daughter then?
Yeah. Confusion spots.
Or, for that matter, the script is just wrong. I should just point that out. We could just change different names as we go, but that seems to be what's going on there.
I would say Bario is likely to have named his own daughter first.
Okay, yeah. So Bario, we're going for Isabella, and that's our first choice. Erinta, question mark. Maybe Erinta's just about. And Gianetta then is for Lino. Okay.
And Giro loves Gianetta, and Lino loves Erinta. Scrolling back to the list of characters, it says that Erinta is Ferio's daughter, and we haven't seen much of Ferio.
Ignore the list of characters. That will not help
Okay.
you. That will
Okay,
not.
okay.
That lies. That is full of lies. That's why I've ignored the list of characters at the very beginning. I'm going with what the text is trying to tell us. The text is a lie as well. I'll go to Rachel, then back to Eric.
Similarly, Giro's not listed in the list of characters either.
No.
And
Giro is named later on. Is Dorio, so
Okay.
he may be in the list of characters, but as a different name.
And I'm confused about Rinaldo. I thought he'd gone to the school with the other young fellows, and now he's at the painter's house.
Possibly.
Rinaldo is pretending to be the painter, but then it makes more sense if the first person entering is actually Veronte, because
I think Rinaldo is the one pretending to be the schoolmaster, and
Yes, he is.
Veronte is the painter.
Another confusion. My God.
Yeah, and it's like every so often it's just like, my daughter, I just keep screaming, which one? Every time they do it. And it's just like, yeah, please just say your name. Please say the name. Okay.
Veronte was the one who said, I'll be myself with a pen in my ear in the shoe of a schoolmaster. Then we've got Rinaldo, who is got the pencil and like the being Apelles of the artificial spirit, therefore.
Yeah, I think Rinaldo's supposed to be. Veronte is addressing Rinaldo and says, "You are Apelles."
Yeah, so Rinaldo's
Rinaldo's
the painter. Yeah, and then Veronte is pretending to be a schoolmaster, but then we also have someone who's pretending to be a doctor of physics.
Yeah, but he's got on his placard outside his door a number of hands. It'll be an Italian hand, a secretary hand, a court hand, whatever.
Yeah.
And
could he be a son of the painter?
No, he is. They've just got the names muddled. I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
Rinaldo here is definitely pretending to be the writing master, the schoolmaster. Without a question.
Yeah.
And
because then Veronte leads them in to show them better pieces. So it's either that they flip the names by accident or...
Yeah, Veronte is here, the painters. But so, yeah, I mean, maybe the wrong way around. But I mean, it'd be easier if we just called them painter, schoolmaster, doctor.
Oh, let's not make
physician.
Let's not make ourselves. The diagram I'm drawing here is so much fun. I mean, it really is.
What we need is a whiteboard.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what we need to do is go through it and just delete people's names and substitute a continuity. But we can't do that till we finish reading the whole text.
Okay.
But anyway. I'm enjoying the confusion in my mind. Okay, so scene 8. Enter Filenio disguised as Neophilo, Dives, who we haven't met yet, and Goffo disguised as Fogo.
Master Doctor, I thank you for your kindness, and I beseech you bear me company to my cousin Balia's house, where I know you shall be welcome. There is a young gentlewoman somewhat given to the green sickness, and if you can cure her, I tell you she hath a father that will soundly recompense your pains.
Sir, I will willingly bear you company and do my best to endeavour to do you good, and for the gentlewoman I will warrant you help her.
I pray you, sir, then let us be going, for I would even bring you thither, and be going about a little earnest business, but after a day or two I will see you again.
At your pleasure, sir.
Master, will you leave nobody at home to talk with your patients? You may lose you know what.
Thou sayest well, and therefore do you go home and stay till I come. I will hasten home again.
Exeunt Filenio and Dives, leaving Goffo behind.
Oh, there is no knavery. Old men may teach to spell, but young folks will put together. My master's a physician for a wench that is sick of the rabbit. I think there was never such a wag born. Oh, how he can counterfeit sobriety, talk so learnedly, and tell wonder so truly that fools admire him. Wise men come to him, and wenches love him out of all reason. He has gotten his words so fit for his purpose. His complexions and constitutions and observations, the time of the moon and the hour of the day, and such a deal of tittle, tattle, that who but Master Doctor? But well, all his wind shakes no corn. He is gone to a patient, that if he find the right vein, he will help her of green sickness. Well, good fortune be his guide, but who cometh yonder? A patient. I must be wise.
Enter the maiden with a new Rhinal.
By your leave, good Master Foggo, I pray you, is your sweet master within?
No, indeed, but he will by and by. Be here, you me. Your pain lieth beneath your heart, you told me, as I remember.
True, sir.
And it holds you by fits?
It is so.
A qualming?
Right.
And have not you sometime a mind to many things?
Now and then, if a thing like me, I shall think of it a good while after.
And you are not well till you have it.
In truth, sir, I think you have some of your master's skill. Good Lord, how happy are you that can learn such cunning. You can never want for money or friends.
Indeed, we do not beg for money, though we pray for the ill health of rich people. For one man's hurt is another's good. It is an evil wind blows no man to goods. But for friends, a man may have money, and yet be without a friend to his mind. For if I had a mind to such a friend as your fair self, how should my cunning compass your kindness?
Oh, then, I perceive your master hath not yet taught you that point of his skill. But you are a merry man that loves to jest.
Why, hang sorrow, 'twill not buy a pipe. But if in earnest I might hope to have but my love accepted, which is more than I speak of before, I will learn so much of my master's cunning as shall rid thee of all diseases, and we will live as merrily as the day is long.
What mean you, winter or summer?
Why, what skills wither?
Oh, yes, a winter's night is long and the day is short.
And what then?
Well, we may laugh at first and weep at last.
Tush, fear no foul weather. A faint heart never followed a fair wench to the high wood, and she that will not venture her eggs shall never have chickens.
Lord, who would have thought you'd have been such a housewife? A husband, I would have said, for indeed sometimes grooms will grope hens. But truly, sir, men are so full of mocks that I know not what to say.
What say as I bid you?
As how, I pray you?
A figure. Take thee Foggo.
I, figure, take thee, Foggo.
To my wedded husband.
What? A priest, too? In truth, you are a merry man indeed, but you have ne'er a ring nor a book. Go to, go to. I see you do nothing but flout. I pray, will you help me to your master?
If you will stay his coming.
Oh, yes, with all my heart.
Come as your ways then, and we will talk further of the matter.
And they exit. I mean, he had a go, didn't he? And it's just like, he's taking it as far as he can, and she's going, yeah, but where's your master? And it's like, he tried.
Well, but he has gotten her to stay and wait for him. So, who knows what's going to transpire.
So yeah, again, it's a nice self-contained bit of business. It's sort of that, there is a bit of plot in the scene, but it's largely to just do this bit of banter and badinage back and forth, which is quite, again, there's a real lightness of touch to this dialogue that sort of bounces along really nicely. And again, I'm generally liking everybody. This is not always the case in early modern drama, especially not in a comedy. So yeah, interesting things. We have a short scene coming up now. Scene 9. enter Bario and Master Dr. Lino with Painter Rinaldo. Say, you said you wanted it to say who he was. There you are. There we are. Painter Rinaldo.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes, he's the painter.
Well, in that case...
The scene earlier must have been wrong. It's fine. He's the painter.
Yeah. Okay. I pray you, sir, bring home that piece in your own chamber to me at my house. We will not break for a little, and the perspective in your hall to my friend Master Doctor's. You shall have ready money for them. But in any ways, I pray you, go to Mistress Balia's and look upon the gentlewoman, and let them fit you out of hand, and you shall be pleased to your content.
I thank you, sir.
What say you, Master Doctor? Shall it be so?
With all my heart, I pray you do so, and I pray you have a care in your work. It will not gain you a little credit in this town.
I warned you, sir. Take me for a shadow if I touch not the substance of the life.
Exit Rinaldo.
Well, Master Doctor, how goes the world that you are so melancholy?
An ill humor that I have, a desire to have any quality that is commendable in any man. I could wish that I could draw a counterfeit as well as he.
Oh, tush, man. You would not leave your dearest studies for such idle imaginations. You are for the life, he is for the death.
Nay, we are for the death, and he for the life, for poets and painters are ever bound to pleasing secrets. To me, for the body, the t'other for the mind, and we are bound to secrecy, but 'tis when mind and body are both out of temper.
The more is your gain.
Yea, but that is not always best pleasing.
Why so?
Because sometime we are like women. We long for that we see, but cannot have.
Oh, go to, I say. I see you are yourself still. Your wife would say you are not to be pleased with one dish. But I pray you, tell me, in rules of physic, have you no medicine for the malady of the mind?
Yes, for any but love, and for that nothing but the beloved. For it is an old true verse before we were born, Haec mihi quod nullis amor est medicabilis herbis.
No. Yes, they say there is a herb called good speed that laid under the bedhead all night and carried in one's bosom in the morning.
Well, make him a fool all the day after. Touch, these are stale jests, but what should we talk of these toys? I'm sure I'm past it, and I hope you do not so much as dream of it. But, Bario, if you or any of yours be at any time diseased, acquaint me with it, and you shall find me your honest friend.
I know it, sir, and will deserve it. But I doubt you have some haste home, and therefore I will not hold you too long.
I thank you, sir. Indeed, I appointed a patient or two to be at my house about this hour, and therefore I will take my leave.
Nay, we will go to the cross, and there we will part.
And they exit. Okay, I am starting to lose a little patience with elements of this script now, which is one of those things about when you're writing scenes and sometimes what you don't want to be doing is going, let's go through the minutiae of where I'm going and how I'm going to leave and goodbye and and hello, and some of that stuff can be foreshortened, and also what is this scene really doing? It's again, we've got a lot of little set pieces happening, bits of business, and I'm liking the business, but I also kind of feel like the plot is happening somewhere else, and I miss it, even if the plot is a mess. And I'm not saying that there aren't bits of plot in here, but they're mostly not doing plot, and you could just do this in a line in an earlier scene or whatever. So I'm starting to slightly get annoyed by that. I'm hoping that is tidy-upable when we figure out who the hell everyone is. Eric.
I was going to say, this feels like a very obvious thing that's going to happen, but I don't know if it will. Where, you've got the guy pretending to be the doctor, so Filenio, I think, has left his servant with the one of the patients or whatever, and Lino is pretending to go home. So it's possible that he's going to go home and find the maiden with Goffo and try and, like, I don't know, something will go wrong in that direction, maybe. It just feels a bit like a very obvious setup, but I don't know if it's going to pay off. That's the problem. I feel like we're getting a lot of setup here, and then no gags or like
Well, the lads aren't any closer yet to the ladies, really. It's all set up for them actually getting into the orbit of the ladies, but it hasn't actually happened yet, and we're nearly halfway through the play. In fact, we're pretty much on top of the middle, the center point now. So okay, maybe some sustained action will happen because scene 10's quite long. So, let us read scene 10 now. I should point out that odds on there are some clashes here, so you will be talking to yourself occasionally because we seriously run. If everybody turns up in the same scene, we can't. It's a mess. So, fingers crossed, it will all be fine, but just be on your toes, and you might be talking to yourself. Scene 10, enter Balia with the 4 wenches. The physician, the painter, the schoolmaster, and the dancer, all the lads as well.
Master Doctor, you are heartily welcome. I will cause her father to thank you. Indeed, she must be stirring about, and she must leave eating of sour things. I pray you tell her so. And as you will have me as your friend, haste you hither with your medicine, for the longer it grows upon her, the worse it will be.
I have talked with her and told her as much, and you shall see a speedy amendment. Lady, I will but go home and come again to you presently.
I thank you, sir, and I will thank you better. You shall be heartily welcome.
Exit Filenio.
Gentlewomen, you see how careful your parents are for ye. I pray you lose no time. Fall to work out of hand, you to your dancing, you to your writing, and you set the painter, and you to your work. I pray you, go not out of the hall till I come again. I will be with you even anon.
Exit Balia.
Now, Master Schoolmaster, what say you to the world? You have taken your profession but for some 2 hours.
Yes, lady, many years for your service, for only for your sake have I taken this portrait upon me to have the better access unto your person, and to creep into your favor.
If you love me, speak not of creeping, for of all creatures I cannot abide them. Creepers, why creepers are the worms in the earth, toads in the ditches, caterpillars in the trees, and lice in the heads of poorer people. God bless me from all such vermin. I pray you speak no more of such figures. Creep not, upright, man, and look me in the face, or never look for favor at my hands.
Then let me tell you that I have taken this mean course to attain the best means for my comfort.
Mean course? Why is not the mean course the best course, the most quiet and safe? High climbers may have sore falls if they fit not exceeding fast, and rich misers are most feared of thieves. Too much beauty is more followed than honored, why lovely Brown is worthy. Gramercy, doth not the Justice Clerk sometimes live merrier than his master, and is not a pen a profitable profession? Oh, sir, count it not mean that is honest. But what copy will you set me?
This that I have written.
Oh, I pray you read it.
From your from your fair eyes first sprang my sweet of love, and from sweet love the sweet of my desire. From sweet desire the passions sweet I prove, and from sweet passion sweet consuming fire, of which sweet fire doth my sweet sorrow spring, and sorrow sweet my sweet death procure, of whose sweet death my sweet content doth sing, that all is sweet which for you I endure.
Ooh, 20, all sweet and sweet, why thou sweet schoolmaster. All my lesson is of love, a sweet love lesson, but soft. Let not us have all the talk. Sister Isabella, what says your painter? Doth he work all by signs?
No, we sat still to hear you talk, but now you shall hear our chat, for I will not hear anything, but you shall be private to it. And now, master painter, what say you to me for my drawing?
Lady, I would crave your pleasure to let me know how you will be drawn, either but a little below the breast or at full length, and either as you came into the world or as you walk in the world, with the ornaments of nature or the furniture of art, or as the sun in a cloud with a lawn over your beauty.
How now, sir? What can you paint words as well as faces? Why, you will make your art admirable. But to draw me at length, what part will you begin?
Lady, my master began at the point called "Pray you away," for the needle standing right in the middle will lead us the better to our just measure.
Well said, sir. But though Pallas were your master, your mistress is no Venus.
But if you will be drawn as she was, I must do as he did.
How, I pray you?
First take my measure, and then fall to work. And if you do not sit me with patience, I shall never touch the life kindly.
Come to, good man Wag. You are a painter of the new fashion. But what says Master Dancer to my sister Gianetta?
So yet, but I think he will say something anon, for I think he has done as I did, hearken to you a while. But look, where comes Master Doctor, now truly welcome. Sister Lodovica, what says your physician? Good Master Doctor, be brief, for long diets kill the stomach.
Master Doctor, I pray you tell me, who is sicker, you or I?
Think myself.
And in faith, what's your disease?
Shall I tell you truly?
True, but not lie.
The name of it is love.
I pray you, how is it to be cured?
With nothing but love.
What? One disease drives out another?
No, there is the disease love and the remedy love.
Then there are two loves.
No, but one love in two natures.
Which are they?
The one in desire, the other in possession. Love to have and have to love.
Well, this is too mystical. But I pray you, how took you it?
By a look.
Where?
In your eyes.
And how holds it?
Continually burn.
Where?
In my heart.
And what will help you?
Your hand.
Good, if faith, my hand must help your heart of the hurt mine eye hath done you. Is this a receipt or conceit in your rules of love's physic?
From me a conceit, but from you a receipt.
Well said, sister. You are the physician, and he is the patient. But if you be at a full point, hold your peace. There is another suit to be heard. What say you to your master dancer?
You are too hasty, sister. Stay a little. We'll not have many words before we fall to our measure. Master, what dance shall I begin with?
If it please you, a dance that pleases the best spirits of the world and pleaseth me above all other.
Is it a fine dance?
Without comparison.
How do you call it?
The eye.
Follows.
The heart.
And how then?
Then, when spirits join hands, the minds keep true measure.
And how many may dance?
Two may do it alone, but the more the merrier. For though one nightingale sing the sweet, yet when the wood is full, the harmony is the sweeter. So though a couple may kindly, yet many couples give love the better grace.
Then I see 'tis love's measure. Have you pricked it? Or can you play it? If you can come on, we'll dance it all together. I am sure there is some kissing in it. Sisters, leave your prattle and let us be merry, and dance all one dance, if our affections be pleased. Take care for no world's comfort. I have a knack in my head that will put us quickly into crowns, as much as service and all our friends.
Agreed.
And I.
I am for you. Come on, gentlemen, even a turn and away.
They dance and take their leaves with these words.
Gentlemen, time makes us brief. Our old mistress' hour is at hand. Your loves you have vowed. Your ladies you know. Virtue be your intent, and honor your triumph. Be wise in kindness and happy in comfort, and your next coming we will talk further.
And they take their leaves with these words.
All honor, health, and happiness to virtue's, beauty's, worthiness.
And so the ladies exit into Balia's house, and the youths, the chaps, remain.
Brethren, our subtlety sound, our profession will be unprofitable. Pull down your tables, suit ourselves. Our parents will miss us, but when they see us, they will but kindly frown on us. And there is all the hurt they will do us. They will think we have been together playing the wags, and so leave us to our better courses. Shall we everyone suit himself and go home? It is good pleasing of old men. They will either be kind in their lives or bountiful at their deaths.
Content is pleased. I like your counsel.
And I.
Away then, what stay we even for now? The wenches are gone, and yet stay a little. Let us take a little view of this gallant, what he may be for a man.
And the youths all stand aside as enter Bragardo and his man, Bizardo.
How hangs my rapier? Point blank, or falls it not too low? I doubt my hangers are somewhat too short.
No, sir, it hangs full even, but your tailor hath abused you in your apparel. He hath not put in silk enough in drawing out.
Alas, it is his trade to save a shred to keep for a pattern against another time, if the colour be inquired for.
Why, sir? Shall he take out of your garment, put into another's?
Sir, you're so far in hell that thou wilt never come at heaven, but leave your neighbour in come to a better reckoning, and answer me to that I ask you, and nothing else.
I shall, sir.
How hangs my cloak?
Careless like yourself, as you should seem. I mean, for him that seems careful of his apparel is counted a neat youth or a spruce ass. But if he buy it today, wear it out tomorrow, and give it away the next day, then he is a gallant, right bred of a true spirit and a worthy fellow.
Why, how now? I bade thee only answer me to that I demanded, and you are commenting upon the text.
I cry you mercy, sir. What say you?
How hang my garters?
Well, sir, and if every tassel had a bell, you might be taken for a Morris dancer, but that you want a hobby horse.
Whither now?
Oh, sir, I had forgot myself.
What sayst thou to my beard?
I fear some will say you have robbed a Muscovite, another will take your face for a vizard. Some will call it a lousy bush, and some a besom or a broom, and some a horsetail. But for myself, I think it is a goodly fight, and sets out your face with such a majesty that it makes you look like a man.
Like a man, you rascal? What? No more?
Nay, sir, I pray you be no more. For if you be a giant, poor folks, and women and children will be afraid of you.
Well, sir, but what thinkest thou of the ladies? Will not one of them fall to my share?
Why, sir, if they go by lots, I know not how fortune will favour her good friends.
Nay, then, in despite of fortune, I will lay one of them aboard, and for Mistress Balia I will not make any great suit, or if she make the matter coy, I have the unguent tomorrow, the golden oil, that once tickling her in her hand will make her work for me like a mole. But what are yonder fellows? By your leave, my masters, what are you? Whence come you? Whither go you? And where dwell you?
Sir, we are men of quality, honest men. We come from a place, we are going to a place, and we dwell at the place.
Ha! Bragardo, what thinkest thou of this company?
It may be he is a jester, but if he be, he is no fool. But him, sir, try him further. See what he is.
Sir, by your nimble tongue, it seems our wit is at command. But may I be beholding you to you for your name and your profession?
Sir, my name is Ventero. My profession, the art of charactering, writing, and reading, and so forth.
So, sir, then with all your cynical eloquence, you would be a piece of a schoolmaster. But you are skillful in characters of love.
Yes, sir. And more than that, I can make you a character which, if you have a mistress, as I doubt not, but that you have many, if she shall take but a view of it, hath a virtue to work in her eyes, that her heart shall be yours forever.
And what shall I give you for one of them? I pray you, let me see one Veronte, 10 crowns.
No, sir, for the first that looks on it is drawn to the love of them that send it. Believe it, sir, and as it works the effect where you would have it, come to me for other of more virtue. My house is but hereby, my table hangs at my door.
I thank you, sir. There's your money. And what profession are you of, sir, and your name?
Sir, I am called. My quality is the explaining of physiognomy, or in the drawing of a counterfeit near the life, and in pure colors. In brief, I am a painter at your service, and I sell complexion.
What sayst thou to this springall?
Why, sir, let him go among the wenches, for there he is his best market. And yet I hear say, wenching fellows begin to play the fools so apt of cry. But I hope you will come.
Yes, but I will, sir. Hold your peace, master painter. I will be better acquainted with you one of these days. I will have you at my lodging, and you shall not find your pains lost. But I pray you, have you any complexion here about you?
Yes, marry have I, sir, and that most pure of 8 crowns a box. Here is 2 boxes, the one white, the other red. But I would not wish to open them till you have need, and then in a close chamber, for the air is very hurtful to them.
I thank you, sir. As this prove, you shall have more of my money, and perhaps I will not be your worst customer.
I thank you, sir. My house is in the High Street. Everybody can show you to it.
Well, sir, but Master Doctor, what are you, a lawyer or a physician? And how are you called of most men, Master Doctor?
My name is Neophilo, my profession learning, my study the secrets of nature, the cures of maladies and preservatives of health.
And sir, I pray you tell me, have you any of these receipts about you? That may make a man seem sweet when he comes to his mistress, and strengthen his back and settle his heat.
I have, sir, here a pill and a ball. The pill you may take any time of the day, but it is best a little before meals, for it procures appetite and sweetens everything that is eaten or drunken, and gives the breath an odoriferous savour. The ball, if you hold it but a little in your hand, and after stroke your beard, it will give a scent sweeter than a violet, but you must do it off that the scent may hold the better. Here is both the ball and the pill, the price at one word, 40 crowns.
I know indeed things of such virtue are costly. You seem not a man to dissemble, but as I find the operation of these, I will be further bountiful for your counsel. In the meantime, there is your demand, and I thank you. But now, last of all, what may you be, sir, your name and your quality? My name is Olga, my quality, the instruction of the limbs. In the lineal passages of the concords of music, to speak more plainly, I'm a dancer, and teach the art. Sir, and what dance is the easiest to learn for one of my years? Sir, if you like it, the wrong dance. Mary, with all my heart, what shall I give you to learn it me? Sir, for 5 crowns I will teach you to it presently, and for so much more by the month I will make you an excellent dancer within a while. For you have a noble body, and I am persuaded your joints are not stiff. No, that they do not. There's thy money, give me thy hand. Come on, sir, mark how I do. You first kiss your hand, and then follow me.
And he leads him and La Volta strikes up his heels and there leaves him. He dances out of the room. Exit the chaps. Bragardo and Bizardo remain.
Oh, my back, Bizardo. Is the dancer gone?
Yea, sir, and all the rest. I fear me too. 1,000 to 1. They have all played their names with us.
Oh, no, hope the best. And come on, since I have no more hurt, let us along to the ladies.
Nay, soft master, first look to your wares that you have bought. Try. You they will prove, these pigs in the pokes I have no mind to.
Thou sayest well. Come on first for my pill. Shall I put him down?
It is no matter if you do, I think, for I hope they be not devils to poison you for your money.
Come on then. There it goes. It is sweet in the mouth. We shall see anon what it will do. Now the complexion. Ha! What is here? Black soap? Bizardo, how likest thou this scent?
Swoon, sir, 'tis a reverence.
Well, he is a villain. The doctor is an honest man, and therefore I will try a little with his ball. Yeah, Mary, this is of a right scent. Well, I will rub my hand with it a little, and then see the virtue of it. But let me see. Shall I see my character?
Do, master, for I fear there is knavery.
How cozening villain! I will kill him.
Why, master?
Why, he is nothing but a foolscap with a coxcomb and a bell.
No, rogue. But what do you mean, master?
Why dost thou ask? What ails thou?
Why, what ails you to pull away your beard? Oh, Lord, look, master, here is a little glass. Look how you are misused. This is your honest physician. A pox take him.
Oh, Bizardo, thou sayest true. I'm undone. Go to the ladies. Alas, I may go where I will. Oh, my belly! Now the pill works. Go, let us be gone, and trust, go!
And exit, presumably to do some sort of terrible bodily function, having swallowed whatever the hell was in that pill, and having smeared some pretty terrible stuff all over your face. I think this scene kind of needs to go earlier. This latter end, the cousining and the setting themselves up as people, I think that needed to happen earlier when they're establishing these characters and this bit of business is really fun, but it sort of feels like it's a bit late because they've sort of already made contact with the ladies and things. But there was a lot of nice stuff in there. The chaps are working their way in the various ways. I don't know if we had too many contradictions as to who was who. I mean, we have a name change from earlier. Merilla has now become Lodovica. So that's that, even though Helen got to read a part that was essayed by someone earlier, and all of that sort of stuff. But they've sort of got they've got their in. The in has occurred, and then they do some naughty stuff with fun clown master servant stuff. Again, I don't think we've said this out loud, but it's Olga's I think made this in the chat earlier. Just the commedia dell'arte quality to this. That these are a series of set pieces that are going on here, strung together by a plot. But I'm not feeling desperately worried about anybody. The stakes aren't desperately high here. They're pootling about. It
does seem like a boys' play, though.
Yeah, but maybe it's more a school play at the moment. I'm feeling or a university play rather than a boys' company play, because it doesn't have that. It feels too unstructured. It feels like there's a series of sketches genuinely going on here. And they're quite fun. And I say it's sprightly, there's some bouncing dialogue. It moves at a decent pace. We've done a lot of text actually in the time. So Eric,
I like how in this scene, like at the beginning of the scene before Bragardo and Bizardo enter, you get this thing of like each character gets their set piece where like they sort of have a like moment with the woman with the girl they're interested in, and it's just sort of, I don't know, it's precious in that they kind of pass the parcel. Like it's like you can talk now, and then they're kind of sharing in the same space while they've actually while Balia is actually outside the door doing work or something. She said, "Don't make any noise in the hole. Don't make a mess. Whatever. Do some work. I'll be back soon." And it just seemed a bit like what happens when you leave a class unattended.
Yeah, There's a lot of that. Okay, we're into sort of the general final thoughts. We understand the scheme, and we just sort of need to assign names to different people. And then also decide how much we need to worry about those things. I mean, we won't know till we finish reading the play. So we've got 4 fathers, 4 daughters, 4 sons. The sons and the daughters are matched in some fashion, which I think the scene we've just done, probably that's the pairing we need to go with, and then work backwards and forwards to make sure that fits. The fathers are all a bit horny for the young girls as well, and I think they all have had moments or have moments potentially here. So I think there may be more crossing over going on there, but there is a question of whether any of that matters, because I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think there's a serious "I'm going to marry her" and "you are, oh no, how dare you." I don't think any of that is going to happen. I don't think the play's interested in doing that. It just wants to have the lads do some silly stuff and the ladies be witty, and so far Mistress Balia is my favourite character, because I really like her.
I've met her.
Yeah. It's when they're going in for the social event, and it's like it says, "Now don't you do any," I almost think they're about to do the slow dance. She turns up with a ruler to make sure that no one's getting too close to each other, in a very maternal way.
You have to leave room for Jesus.
Yes. Any final thoughts from around the room? It's difficult to fully pass. I'll go to Olga.
Well, so far, it feels like a funny mixture of commedia dell'arte with some sort of high school musical or whatever. Some sketches that the students at universities show to each other for some celebrations. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what it doesn't feel like there's a lot of logic there, and it's going to end up anywhere at all. There's definitely a mixture of characters, and somehow they are too closely related, so it seems a little bit freakish, but no, they don't care. I also must notice that in the scene with four girls and 4 boys, it's pretty obvious that they know who is who. So yes, they are sisters, brothers, and yeah. Oh, okay, that's your brother. Yeah, I know he's courting me. So yeah, they recognize each other. That's for this early modern disguise.
Yeah, there is a real sense of them sort of comparing notes across the room, isn't it? Is that how's yours doing?
Absolutely. So yes, they're enjoying it to the full. So that's why I say High School Musical.
Yeah, and I think we can lean into that. And again, because this is a text that's going to need revision, I feel that we can make those little tweaks to make those relationships clearer.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it's just pure fun for the fun of it.
I do like it when we come across a comedy that is just light and harm and not turns out to be a tragedy at the end. Because I don't think I have any real worries about any of these people pairing off per se, so long as it's all reasonable. Any other thoughts in the room? I'm not going to go around the whole room. I'll just we'll wave at me. Helen.
Yeah, it was a question. I see that there's an edition by Greg. I wondered, did he have any idea about what it was for?
I don't know if he had any ideas what it was for. Who
it was written for?
Yeah, no, I don't have any note on that. As I don't get the impression that he fully got to grips with the text from the notes I'm looking at here, and who could blame him? Particularly.
Yes.
But no, I don't actually have that copy, so I don't know. But I am curious. Eric.
It feels like, I mean, okay, obviously it's a play, but I mean, it feels like something you could use for like an end of year production for a drama school where people are still learning how to be like comedy fools or like sort of improvise and mess around and stuff. So it's not high stakes where you have to be like, I don't know, sort of dramatic and like over the top and emoting all the time. This is just like good fun and romp and stuff. So yeah, I feel like you could give it to like acting students and stuff. Or I mean, I'd love to do this on stage, just like mess around and do stuff. But yeah, it feels like you could give it to people who are kind of just relaxed about it and have fun with it, not like sort of take it too seriously. Obviously, they have to take it seriously in the the play has to happen, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is an element of being able to. You can use most of these scenes in isolation as an exercise, and I think that's actually not a bad idea, especially in trying to get to grips with the totality of it all. And saying, right, okay, this individual scene doesn't necessarily move the plot on, but can we get the maximum number of laughs out of it? And I feel this is a play where I'm sitting there going, how can I get the maximum number of laughs from an audience out of it, rather than what is it about? I'm not that fussed about it. I just want to make the audience laugh. And actually, this is one of those rare instances where that's all it's really trying to do. Any other final thoughts from the room before I close the session? Liza?
Just to say that, yeah, this play has a lot of confusing corners, and I wish people used each other's names more, and I wish there were more consistency in naming. But what redeems it is, as other people have said, that lightness and that sense of fun in the dialogue, and the fact that it is all very cleanly written. It doesn't linger or pontificate. It's quite nice.
Okay. Any more for any more? Okay, well, that's it for this first half, a little past the halfway mark for Wit of a Woman. We will conclude this, hopefully very soon, with this wonderful room of readers or different readers. And indeed, anyone can join us online. There are sign-up forms on our website, beyondshakespeare.org. You too can become one of us and read plays. We have several sessions every week where we do this kind of thing. And say anyone can join us. If you so want to come along, we'll hand you a part. But till next time, all that remains to thank all the wonderful readers for all the wonderful reading. Thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye. Shall we play the good girls?